Honor to meet you, Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Marixus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
For survival supplies, only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city. I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested quinoa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Settlers on Kadara are suffering from a bacterial infection. They need Angaran antibiotics to fight it. A medic in the city should be able to help.
Got it. They'll have that medicine in no time.
Pathfinder, more of your outposts need help, if you have time. Volt's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. A solar amplifier would give them a boost. The solar technicians here may have the required parts.
I'll see what I can find.
Pathfinder?
Any news? Invest in your personal protection. Shield yourself.
Weird question. You don't have any quinoa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
Ven? Thought you'd be in a Resistance holding cell.
That was Ephra's plan. He wanted to throw me down a hole once he got his precious answers. The Most Shy convinced him to release me here. I volunteer and they let me see sunlight.
You didn't trade one cell for another after all, and you get fresh air.
And servitude, dressed up like forgiveness. The Most Shy keeps her high ground, and I'm the traitor who gets a second chance.
She didn't have to offer you mercy. You certainly don't deserve it.
Think I don't know that? I should get back to work. They're not paying me to stand around. Oh, that's right. They're not paying me at all.
The visitors show great interest in trade. Your governor wants it.
Pathfinder.
Hey, Alexei.
Have a
I
look.
tracked down some...
Samples of the Angaran antiseptic you were talking about.
The Angaran antiseptic? Oh, Sumar. That's the name, isn't it?
Something like that.
Can't wait to test its applications. Thank you very much, Fedra.
Anything for the woman who keeps us healthy. I feel so out of place here. People keep staring at me. I can't tell if they're fascinated or afraid.
Maybe they've all got huge crushes on you.
Ryder, that's a little far-fetched.
I don't think so. Everyone wants a spiky girlfriend.
Sure, Ryder.
Mercy, you're back. You're right. Look.
I'm not selling to aliens.
New clientele is always welcome here. Have a look. I'm sure you'll find something to your taste.
Can't hurt to be prepared. Maybe you've got something I'm looking for.
If I don't today, I will tomorrow. Hope you find what you're looking for.
You work on the solar panels. Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Ambassador, I trust our people had a smooth transition to Aya.
The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. 10 out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I know what it's like, jumping out of the cryopod and into the fire.
You've had it far worse. My condolences on your loss. I hear you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
If something's wrong, I need to know.
Maybe you can help me fix it. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Helios is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
Aside from Sorvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
No rest for the weary.
Enro tells me you've participated in our little citizens' forum near the market. Take care with that group's leader. She competed with me for this office. Defeat made her bitter. What can I do for you?
Why didn't you tell me about Kadara Port when I first arrived?
I assumed you already knew. We didn't realize there was a difference between your exiles and the Initiative.
Fair enough.
As for Venterev, Ephra hid his betrayal from everyone. He'll answer for that.
Thanks for your time.
Ishare, Pathfinder. I can do you one better. Take a look at this.
Good to be back here, ready to hit those scans.
What am I looking for?
Moran called out suppliers that may have useful properties for our tech. Just need to get Sam's eye on them. Take a stroll. Enjoy the market. Nav sent.
Research has been going well. We're close to a breakthrough on Elmok hybrids.
That's incredible.
Welcome back.
That's all for now.
We'll come back anytime.
Fresh Parapro. Share them with your friends. Not today, Nexus.
Liam?
God damn it.
What's going on?
Nothing to worry about. Just come grab a table with me.
Invest in your personal protection. Shield yourself.
Pathfinder, you're good here. We'll worry about the data another time.
Liam, what's going on?
I, figured we should head up somewhere nice and open. You were being cased.
Are you getting me in trouble? What was this about?
We're not in trouble exactly, but I don't blame them for being angry. I wanted to get data that would help yields at our outposts. Moran told me what to scan, but I called it off. I still owe her, but it's better than pissing off some gouging hardliner. Sorry I didn't clue you in. It's a security thing. Food is security.
Was this an attempt to copy their methods? Steal secrets?
We're not competing companies. It's about learning to live here. Remember my Tempest freakout? I tried proper channels. Got blocked by the Angara and the Nexus. There's only so much Jarl can tell us, so I did what we do back in crisis response. Bend the rules.
Liam, I deserve better than having this sprung on me mid-market.
You're right, of course, you're right. And the Angara are right too. The last people who showed up out of the blue were the Ket, the ultimate users. I don't want us getting lumped in with them, and I really, really don't want to ruin the market. I like coming here. Just enjoying time with you. Feels normal. About time something did.
We may have to stick to ourselves for a while, if that's what both sides seem to want.
It isn't. Saw it all the time during crisis deployments. Us versus them turns into food versus no food. We have to figure this shit out, or both sides will hurt.
Helping the Moshai opened a lot of doors around here. Most Angara still keep their distance, though.
Well, you are a bit of an eyesore.
Speak for yourself. When I saw my first human, I couldn't understand how you keep your blood inside. Skin that thin.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ambassador Riala sent me to check on you. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
Do you know what he meant by that?
He ranted nonsense about a vessel and selling slots to outsiders. He got right up in my face and compared me to a Ket. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
Sounds like there's more to this. Don't suppose you caught his name.
Didn't ask, didn't want it, didn't need it. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters, see if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
I caught Liam on the bridge the other day, teaching Suvi and Camel an old Angaran folk song. At least that's what I told him it was.
Okay.
Don't fret. The marriage can be dissolved by a different song. I'll try to remember it.
I detect the infrared dye Zorvis Len used to mark the person who threatened him.
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
I only have one side of the story. Tell me yours.
It's hard to explain.
Try me?
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal, time of change. It worked well, until now.
The Vassal never accounted for outsiders living on Aya.
There's only so much room. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Ket on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
He thinks you want him dead. Tell him what you just told me, and let's move on.
Thought I was clear the first time. Maybe his translator malfunctioned.
I'll talk to our ambassador, see if we can minimize our impact on your vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand, nothing is free for us.
It took humanity 8 years to get a Citadel embassy back home. Pretty impressive to get one here so fast.
All it took was handling some remnant.
It'll take more to keep this partnership going. Ambassador Riala will handle the embassy. Lets us focus on everything else.
You're back.
No entering the med center until you're clean.
How do I decontaminate?
Ion console. Touch the start pad, it does the rest.
How can I help?
I'll get moving.
Ishari.
When news of the attack aired, I didn't know if you were. And you'll stay.
My people on Kadar are fighting a bacterial infection. Do you have antibiotics?
Of course. Will this do?
I found the person who threatened you.
I know. I received a written apology from him. I assume I can continue my work undisturbed.
Next time your big mouth lands you in trouble, I may not save you.
We'll see what Director Tan has to say about that.
Tell him I say hi.
You're interfering with my readings. Good day, Pathfinder.
Oh, you're here. Welcome to my favorite. Hello, Pathfinder. Any good news for me?
Is this Angaran? I found it on one of your homeworlds.
Son above. It's an ancient Ravan, a musical instrument. It uses Angara's body energy to produce music. We have them now, but nothing this beautiful. The songs it played were probably lost long ago. How much culture have we forgotten? Art, music, stories, it's all gone.
You're already rebuilding. Look at Aya.
We have a long way to go. In any case, relics like this help us.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels. Hello, Pathfinder.
I'll let you get back to it.
Ryder, I love seeing our Milky Way peeps mingling with the Angara. It's early in our interspecies relationship, but I hope we can build on the momentum.
Any one of a million things could happen, and whoops, the neighbors hate us.
So don't go joyriding with the Nomad, huh? Obey the street signs? You're doing a great job, really. Keep up the good work.
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
They wouldn't let me on Aya if I was a walking petri dish, would they?
You aren't taking this seriously enough to satisfy my family. I can't go without their blessing. I'm sorry.
Pathfinder.
What's your job around here?
Aylin and I help Avela with her studies. I specialize in restoration.
So you make relics look new.
New as I can. I'm not a miracle worker, no matter what Avela says. She'll praise Ellen and I to anyone who will listen. Never had a supervisor like that before.
I'll leave you to it.
What did you call them? Aquatic species. They adapted to live among us by inventing.
Effa should have come to me.
Axel, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's she doing here?
I asked the Moshai to set up a meeting. I don't want us to be enemies.
Is this true?
Axel, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. She risked her life to...
Sloane Kelly saved Kadara. Look how that went.
I want to be allies. Equal allies.
You don't even treat your own equally. Isn't that why the Krogan left?
How did you?
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. Do not trust them, Chauvin.
Axel... He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket, even without exaltation, they change us.
There's still time to bring him around.
I want to believe that, but his hatred towards aliens...
I'll prove we can be trusted.
I hope so.
Ryder,
We just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
I found a device Ven was using to communicate with the Archon. I think we can use it to triangulate that Ket flagship's nav point.
All you have to do now is board it, steal the Meridian artifact, and escape in one piece.
You've been there. Tell me what to expect.
I saw very little. Corridors, an interrogation room, my prison cell. The Archon's vessel is a place of pain and death for the Ket's enemies. No one has attempted anything like this before. For all our sakes, you must succeed. Now it's my turn. Thank you for freeing Ven to Effect Kadara. I'm told you saved him from execution.
What will you do with him? Are there prisons here?
Ephra wanted to punish him. I suggested Ven help tend Aya's gardens. He spent too long surrounded by death. He needs to reconnect with life.
I'd like to know more about you.
What about me intrigues you?
You're an expert on several topics. Remnant, Ket, stuff I don't even know exists.
All true. Why? Do you want to be my student?
Is that an option? Because I didn't train for this job. At all.
Yet you do it well. There are two kinds of knowing. What we take in from the universe, and what's already inside us. You have the essentials figured out. The rest you can learn as you go.
Are you originally from Aya, or someplace else?
I was born on a research vessel in deep space. My parents were explorers. They never stayed in one place long. My own work has taken me to every world, many times over. They all try to claim me as their own, but if I'm honest, my favorite chair is here.
You and my crewmate have a close relationship. Any advice? Hints?
He talks in his sleep. Worth it for the look on your face. Jarl is a dear and hopeless former student. He has a good spirit. You're lucky to have him, that's all.
What are you working on these days?
I thought being a Ket prisoner was the worst fate imaginable. Then I got home and saw my backlog. A Vela comes in every so often asking if I have a second. At this rate, I'll never catch up. To answer your question, I'm busy with everything and nothing. We'll see which wins.
My translator doesn't know what to do with your title, Moshai.
Because it isn't a title, it's a reference. People from mythological times, before the Scourge. Legends say we once had many Moshai. Master inventors of unfailing wisdom, guided by boundless compassion.
That's a lot to live up to.
It's nonsense. Don't remember who first called me Moshai, but I do recall telling them to shut up. To my regret, the name stuck. I've minded less lately. Being the Moshai has its uses.
When the Ket are gone, if we fix all these worlds, what do the Angara want?
Depends who you ask. We're individuals. Paran will continue spreading hope and optimism. I don't know what Ephra will do without an enemy to fight. Retirement won't suit him. As for me, maybe I'll just fade away. That's what people do when they're no longer needed, right?
Any ideas on how we stop the Ket for good?
The real question is, how do we define victory over them? Complete eradication? Unlikely, costly, and morally dubious. Drive them away? How? What stops them from returning?
Peaceful coexistence doesn't seem to be an option.
There's much we still don't know. The Ket are not a simple problem. We can't reduce them to a simple solution.
Thank you, Moshai.
Ishare.
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You'll have ways to send them text messages and comm transmissions.
I want contact with the people I love. You offer machines. Not good enough, Pathfinder.
Govajon, Pathfinder. I've been practicing the language. Any news on what happened to Sorvis Len?
Do you know about the Vassal? The Angaran lottery that decides who gets to live on Aya.
I've heard of it. Why?
Angara are selling their slots to come here so our people can stay in their place. Including a member of the Angaran resistance. He was killed on Vold. Wouldn't have happened if he'd been here.
No one told me of this arrangement. Well, we have to do something.
We could let Angara who give up their slots live on the Nexus. It's safer than Vold.
Exactly what I was thinking. No one should suffer on our behalf. Thank you, Pathfinder. I'll forward your proposal to Director 10 immediately.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
When you have a moment, Pathfinder, this is a tremendous honor. I must express my admiration for all you've done. Crossing the void between galaxies, navigating the Scourge to find Aya. Incredible.
The odds were against us, that's for sure.
Yet here we are, strangers from different galaxies conversing in friendship. Extraordinary. I am Mariko Darej, Chief Voneron.
It's a privilege to meet you. Tell me about yourself.
I'm something of a pathfinder myself. I am a celestial observer, charting the movements of stars, planets, and the Scourge.
An astronomer. You know the safe routes out there?
We deploy satellites that alert us to new hazards and opportunities. But we've lost contact with several key observers. They've simply stopped. I sent a vessel to scan their last known locations, but nothing's been found. Your Tempest is highly advanced. I hoped you could aid our search.
Even Pathfinders need a good map. I'll look into it.
I knew you'd understand. I'll provide search nav points. And when I can finally reconcile our charts with fresh satellite data, I'll gladly share all we have. Hello, Pathfinder. How can I help?
How many planets have you colonized?
When we returned to space after the Scourge, we discovered our civilization had survived on 5 worlds. People from one of those worlds found and settled Aya.
Could there be more Angaran worlds from before the Scourge? Ones you don't know about?
That's one reason we travel the stars, in hope of finding what we've lost.
How long have your people had space travel?
Before the Scourge, we colonized many worlds. Or so we're told.
You don't know for sure?
The Scourge erased all records. Everything became myth, passed down as oral history. We rebuilt our space program only a few hundred years ago.
From Stone Age to Space Age in a few centuries. Impressive.
Nothing will keep us from the stars. Not the Scourge, not Ket. We belong out there.
How good are your satellites at watching the Scourge?
They've served us well for many decades. My grandmother led the program that designed them, and my mother tended them before me.
Does the Scourge change shape and direction often?
On an astronomical scale, it's like a fast-moving river. But travel routes generally remain stable for years at a time.
Could your colonies wind up cut off from each other?
Worse than that, if the Scourge engulfs a world, everything on it dies.
That's all for now.
Stars and skies protect you.
Ambassador Riala said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder. I'm honored even to be considered for the transfer. But I won't be happy as just an observer. I need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
If you put in a request, someone will get back to you.
And if they refuse? We'll have to think about it. Thank you, Pathfinder.
I found Kiloa seeds for Eos. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure Eos gets them.
Here, I have the antibiotics for Kadara. Will the settlers be okay?
Once they have these, they'll be fine. I'll make sure they know who to thank.
Here, I found the solar amplifier for Vold.
They'll be happy to see this. No more power outages. Thank you, Pathfinder.